So we've got to create the conditions in the school to take us down through that resistance. And we've talked a lot about that today. Again, we can get more practical about this. We can share the strategies that we use for doing that, right? And that, I think, is one way of actually developing professional learning amongst ourselves. I can talk about the theory of this, but really what we want now are really practical examples of how you deal with instances. You know, there's another predictable problem here as we move out of implementation. You know, are we actually doing the right things to embed a change inside the school, to actually stop removing competing practices, and so on. So there's a very, very strong knowledge base about how we actually manage change. I know I have shown you that slide before, and if we go through, you've got them all in front of you. If we go through and look in detail at the initiation phase, there are certain sort of leadership activities you need to be doing, right? It's best to tie it to a high-profile need in the school. You need a well-structured approach. You need active advocates and champions. You need actually to have quite good, you have to actually be top-down in the early phases, right? And you need a good quality innovation. Now, all of those things we've been trying to do as part of the AIZ program, right? And you'll see that we've built those characteristics into that. As you move into implementation, though, you have to move into a different phase of working. Very, very high quality orchestration and coordination. People have to take much more shared control over implementation, the pressure and support stuff, the adequate and sustained staff development, and rewards related to empowerment and enhanced professionalism. Right? So again, I've been going through some of that stuff this afternoon. And in terms of institutionalization, again, I just mentioned some of those as we en passant. Now, that's good theory about change strategies. We may want to just move that a step further, and we could just leave it like that. But what we could do, again, is to form an expert group from the principal class in a number of schools, where we actually take real-life examples of how we're dealing with this, and then problematize that using the type of methodology and modalities that I was talking about right in the first sort of few moments of the workshop today. So I just got one last slide to show on this. So this, you know, it seems to me we can go so far on days like today, all right? And in a sense, we've gone about, I think, a reasonably, you know, this has been not a bad workshop, despite what Bruce is going to say to me later. This has not been a bad workshop in trying to sort of mix theory and practice and try to develop a mixed agenda. But it can only go so far. The next step is to actually then bring your practice in. We need to discipline and reflect upon your own practice in the light of our own collegial work. You know, that is the next step, and that's what I hope, Wayne, that we can continue to sort of work on. Just finally, we do know a little bit. I worry about, when I started this morning and showed you some of these leadership skills, they're a bit, some of them are a bit platitudinous. We need to look at them behaviorally, really. And it seems to me that the types of skills that we need to lead change are these. These are quite sort of, I think, behaviorist. You know, can we generate trust? That seems to be really important. That's coming out of our research now very, very strongly, the ability to generate trust. To be diagnostic, can we actually really understand what is going on, and to understand that, and to talk about it in sort of behavioral and sort of generative terms with our colleagues. The ability to plan into the medium term, work productively in groups, accessing the required technical resources, and this is really important. There are ways of teaching effectively in groups, There are ways of teaching badly in groups. Do we have access to those resources? You know, are we really taking, you know, John Munro's work really seriously? Are we implementing that with precision? And then are we able to give colleagues the confidence to continue? You can do all of those, but are we actually sort of, this is about sustainability. Now, it may be that we want another group to actually be talking about this. And I think we grow as individuals by engaging in these discussions, reflecting upon our practice, and so on and so on and so forth. So that really is where I wanted to take us today. I'm sorry it's been a little bit rushed in the latter half. What I've tried to do today is to try and help hold a mirror up to where we are in the project, get in some reflection on your own schools, and to engage in a series of activities that hopefully will be helpful to yourselves, but also helpful to the team here as they continue to work and support you. And then just in this afternoon, I've tried to sort of just open up a window on 3 areas where we may want to continue to do more sustained work. And when I talk about doing more sustained work, it's not Hopkins or whoever coming in and showing PowerPoints, or even, you know, Hopkins and whoever coming in and leading activities. It's more about us engaging in disciplined inquiry as a group of professionals who are trying to do very, very serious and important work. And I think that has to be the shift in modality as we continue to work together. And I look forward to, you know, engaging in that with you over the next months and hopefully years.